Happy International Red Panda Day. Now, my name is Alexis and I will be your guide and driver. For some safety rules, you must remain seated at all times and keep your hands and feet in the car. In case of emergencies, if you need to get a hold of me, there's an intercom system in the back of each car. Adventure awaits us as we cross over the Bronx River. We will be transported to Asia as if by magic. We will see animals from China to India, Cambodia to Nepal, and more. Here at the Bronx Zoo, we are the headquarters of the Wildlife Conservation Society, also known as the WCS. We have eco-guards and scientists working abroad, and zookeepers working here at home, all working towards a goal to preserve and to protect wildlife all around the world. We have now been magically transported over 7,000 miles, and we have landed in Asia. Now if you look to your left over there, you'll see two deer, a pale gray deer and an orange deer. The orange deer is the Barasinga deer. Barasinga means 12-tined in Hindi, which refers to those antlers, which will have 12 to 14 points on each antler. The pale gray deer that was also on the left is the Bactrian deer. Now, Bactrian deer are native to Central Asia, and they are actually a subspecies of red deer. Even though they are not usually red, they are usually a pale gray and gold in color. Now, this meadow is huge. It gives our 4 deer and 1 antelope species plenty of room to run and hang out in during various parts of the day. And it looks like most of our deer and antelope are hanging out towards the middle to back end of their meadow, so we will be seeing them later on in the tour. And we are coming upon a hut, which represents an important conservation story.
Hi. Farmers in Indonesia live closely with wild animals, like elephants, which we will see shortly. WCS field staff work with local leaders and farmers in Indonesia to come up with the Crop Protection Unit. This unit created many different ways for farming to continue in close proximity of wild animals. One strategy was to soak ropes in chili powder and place them around the crops. Elephants do not like chili and leave the farms alone, allowing the farmer and the animals to share the habitat peacefully.
Now, we all know that an animal that is extinct means it no longer exists. Much like the dinosaurs at our dinosaur safari, or the dodo bird, the next animal that we will be seeing was on the verge of extinction. As we come around this bend, we will be on the lookout for a herd of Mongolian wild horses, also known as the Przewalski's horse. Now, there are some we are coming upon. There are also 2 baby Mongolian wild horses in this herd, so keep your eyes on the lookout. Now, you may notice that these horses look a little bit different from the domesticated ones that we are so used to seeing. They are stockier, they have shorter legs, and they are rocking that erect mane, which makes it look like these animals have mohawks. That means that these animals are more genetically awesome. The rest of our herd looks to be towards the bottom of the hill, towards the back. They are also missing the forelock, and that is the piece of mane that falls over the eyes on domesticated horses. Now, I did mention that these animals were on the verge of extinction. In fact, the Mongolian wild horse were extinct in the wild, meaning that they could only be found in zoos. But with the help of herds here in zoos in North America and in Europe, there has been a successful reintroduction of the Mongolian wild horse back into the wilds of Mongolia and China. And here is Jonathan Slack from the WCS for more on the conservation work that we do with Mongolian wild horses.
Jonathan Slatt, and I'm the Russia and Northeast Asia coordinator for the Wildlife Conservation Society. I believe that wildlife has a place on this earth. My job is to find practical solutions that allow people and wildlife to thrive together. Henry Przewalski's horse went extinct in the wild in the 1960s. On a recent trip to Kazakhstan, I thought about the ongoing and successful efforts in that country to bring these horses back to the Central Asian steppe. The world needs happy stories. Watch the impossible become possible and to see hope restored. That's what's happening today with Przewalski's horse.
The Bronx received its first animals in 1902, and ever since then, we have had over 50 Przewalski's horse foals that have been born here at the Bronx Zoo. Now, this whole area belongs to the Mongolian wild horse. It gives them plenty of room to horse around all day long. They do love to eat their breakfast up here on the hill. Now, as we finish coming up over this hill and on to the next area, we are on the lookout for a very large animal. If you see a dark brown, cow-like animal with horns, you will have found the gaur. Gaur are the world's largest wild cattle. Now, males can weigh over 2,000 pounds, which is about the size of a small car. They are 6 feet tall and 10 feet long. With that size and those horns, male gaur can take on just about anything, and I do mean anything, even tigers. Now, it looks like they're hanging out just in the front over here, and you can tell them apart by looking at those horns. If you see a gaur with horns that curve and point to the back, that is a female gaur. The horns pointing straight up is a male gaur. If you see one with little tiny horns that are growing, that is an adolescent gaur. The ones will grow to they are adults. And if you see a little one with no horns, that is a baby. And here is Keeper Dave with more.
Hi, I'm Dave, a wild animal keeper here in Wild Asia. When the Bronx Zoo received 2 female and 1 male gaur from the San Diego Zoo, it took a couple of introductions before all the animals were comfortable. But after a little bit of time, the 3 new animals were fully integrated into the herd, and we have the family that you see today. A family group of gaur can consist of up to 40 individuals and is typically led by an older adult female called the matriarch. Since the 2 females and 1 male have been added to this family, there have been a number of offspring. This is important because gaur are considered to be a vulnerable species, so it's vital to maintain a healthy growing herd here at the zoo.
As we leave the gaur, you may start hearing noises coming from behind us. It is very easy to forget that the Bronx Zoo is in the heart of the concrete jungle, and that noise is coming from the Bronx River Parkway. Now, it does make a lot of noise, so the zookeepers created this large wooden fence here to keep the city noise down so our next animal would feel safe and calm. We are on the lookout for a tiger. Tiger stripes provide excellent camouflage, so they may be hard to spot. Even professionals have a hard time finding them in the wild. And they live very secretive, solitary lives, so there will only be 1 tiger in this exhibit at a time. Now, we are on the lookout for Anakin. Anakin is our 10-year-old male Amur tiger. Out of the 2 subspecies of tiger that we have here at the Bronx Zoo, Malayan and Amur tigers. Amur tigers, also known as Siberian tigers, are the larger of the 2. Now, it looks like he is in the back area, walking down on your right. Now, tigers can hunt a variety of animals, but they do mainly eat wild pigs and deer, and man, can they eat! A tiger can eat up to 40 pounds of meat in one sitting, and that is the same as eating 160 hamburgers all at once. He's up here on the right, just by the fence in the back. After being outside, the tiger will not eat for several days. And here's some other conservation work with tigers.
WCS works with many species of tigers in the wild and at the zoo. Here is a note from one of our field scientists about his experience working with rangers
What a
to protect
carnivore.
tigers in Indonesia.
Hi, my name is Paul Amano. I'm helping the rangers of the National Park in doing their forest patrol. There was a time when we found some tigers could live in the jungle. But then we also found that some snares are installed inside the forest, which become threats to the animals. We dismantle the snares to make sure that the tigers are safe.
If you'd like to get an even closer look at some more tigers here at the Bronx Zoo, you can head on over to Tiger Mountain. You're going to pass by the back end of our gaur enclosure, as well as the back end of our first meadow. And here's some more deer and antelope species. Now, laying down towards the center, you will see a little 2-tone animals. Those are the black-buck antelope. The males will be dark brown with curly horns, whereas the females are tan and have no horns. That makes these animals sexually dimorphic, and all that means is that the males and the females do not look alike. Now, you may see some birds. This is India's national bird, the Indian peafowl. The males are peacocks. The females are peahens, and when they have babies, they are pea chicks. Now, they do roam freely in the Wild Asia Monorail, so you will be seeing them throughout our tour. Now, as we come around this bend, we are going to be on the lookout for a pig. This pig has tusks that erupt through its snout and curve back towards its face. It calls the muddy habitat its home. If you have found one, you have found a babarusa. Babarusa means pig deer in the Malay language, and it does refer to those antler-like tusks. Now, as we come around to the first exhibit, if you look by the rock in the hay, you will see one lying down. That is Kenneth, one of our male babarusa. Now, babarusa are located in the Indonesian island of Sulawesi, and they are also currently classified as endangered. Now, the babarusa are tiny compared to our next animal. We are about to meet the world's largest land mammal, and I am talking about an Asian elephant. And as we come around, if you look towards the far back right, you will see Patty. Patty is one of our female Asian elephants. Now, Asian elephants can weigh up to 10 tons, which means they need to eat a lot of vegetation. Our elephants can eat up to 200 pounds of hay a day and drink up to 60 gallons of water. And if you can, get a good look at her trunk. Her trunk is an amazing tool. They have over 40,000 muscles in that trunk. And Asian elephants have a special finger-like adaptation at the end that allows them to gently pick up a blade of grass or to tear down a tree branch with enormous force. Our elephants are very well taken care of here at the Bronx Zoo. They get spa days, they get baths, they get pedicures. And that tree by the pool is Patty's elephant-sized back scratcher. Now, as we leave, we can wave bye to Patty, because we are on the lookout for another large animal. This animal is described as armor-plated, has a single horn at the end of its nose, and it can weigh up to 3,500 pounds. Any guesses to what we could be looking for?
It's a rhinoceros.
You are all smart. We are looking for a rhino, specifically a greater one-horned rhino. Here at the Bronx Zoo, we care for 5 greater one-horned rhinos. Now, we are looking for Priya and Patrick. Priya is our 8-year-old female, and Patrick is her baby that is a year old. Now, when you see Patrick, you will be shocked that he's a baby because he's about the same size as Priya, but he is a year old. Now, caring for these rhinos is one thing, breeding them is a whole nother trainers. Breeding is a whole nother problem. Now, imagine this, moms. A rhino can be pregnant for up to 16 months. Can you imagine being pregnant for almost a year and a half? The babies will stay with the moms for 2 to 3 years, while weaning can take 12 to 16 months, meaning that the mama rhinos don't have to pay for the baby rhino's college. Now, you might think that a rhino skin is thick and tough, but it is actually a single layer of skin that is made of many folds, and it is very sensitive to sun and to bugs, so rhinos will lie in mud wallows, and they will cover themselves in mud, and it acts as natural sunscreen and bug spray for the rhinos. Now, as we come around, if you look in that mud wallow, you will see Priya and Patrick. Patrick is the one closest to us. Priya is on the other side. Now, sadly, all rhinos are critically endangered. There are only 3,700 greater one-horned rhinos left in the wilds of India and Nepal. Looks like Priya is standing up to protect Patrick. He's just on the other side of her. There he is. Sadly, all rhinos are critically endangered. There are only 3,700 greater one-horned rhinos, like Priya and Patrick, left in the wilds of India and Nepal. Here at the Bronx Zoo, we care for rare and endangered animals like tigers and rhinos. And we are part of a cooperative zoo management program called the Species Survival Plan. The name says it all. It helps animals to survive. We work with zoos all around the world to help maintain a genetically diverse population of rare and endangered animals. Now, as we leave Priya and Patrick, we are going to be coming upon 2 large meadows. Your scientific observation skills are about to be put to the test. We are on the lookout for 5 species of deer and 1 antelope that live in these 2 meadows. Now, some may be easy to find as they are easily 5 feet tall and 650 pounds. Others may be harder to find as they weigh less than 40 pounds and can bark like a dog. So keep your eyes on the lookout. Now, if you see a little light brown deer, that is one of our hog deer. They like to hang out just on the hill by the rocks. Hog deer get their names because they are short and heavy like a hog. They also move like a hog. They creep. They run low. They would rather crawl under things than other deer that rather jump over them. Now, there is some lying down on the ground. Now there is a baby hog deer. Keep your eyes on the lookout. It is dramatically smaller than most of the other hog deer. Now it looks like most of the other deer are hanging out on the other end of the meadow, so we will be seeing them in just a second. Now if you see a spotted deer, that is the Formosan Sika deer. Formosan Sika deer are native to Taiwan, formerly known as Formosa. They did go extinct in the wild in 1977, and they can only be found in zoos as well as national parks in Taiwan. Their spots will fade in the winter as their winter coats grow in. Now, the Formosan Sika deer do love to hang out in this meadow with another large animal. If you see a large dark brown deer, that is the sambar deer. Sambar deer are the largest deer in southern Asia. They can weigh up to 650 pounds and stand up to 5 feet tall at the shoulder. The males will have these antlers that will grow to 3 feet in length and have 3 points at the end of each antler. Now they do like to hang out towards the very back left, so as we come around, if you see this big long patch of mud, follow it all the way to the back left, and there's our herd of sambar deer. Now, as we come around to the right, if you see a large yellowish brown animal, those are our female nilgai antelope. Nilgai means blue bull in Hindi, which refers to the males. The males will be a bluish gray, whereas the females are yellowish brown. They are also the largest antelope species in Asia. Now as we come around, this next animal we're going to look out for may be hard to spot, but if you look down by the left, you'll see a little dark brown deer walking around on the left by the fence. That is one of our Chinese tufted deer. Now those are fully grown. They weigh less than 40 pounds. They get their name from the distinctive tuft on the top of their heads. They also have a white rump and tail, which serves important in deer communication. They will flash that white rump to alert other deer that there is a predator nearby and that they have to run away. It also helps a baby deer to follow its mother. These beautiful little deer are found very rarely outside of Asian zoos and in China, so we are very lucky to have them here at the Bronx Zoo. We are going to be crossing back over the Bronx River. We will be at the highest point of our tour at 35 feet. So get ready for one of the best views on our tour of the Bronx River. Thousands of commuters cross over this river every day, but it is a habitat for ducks, turtles, fish, and migratory birds. Rivers provide important habitats, and it does not matter if it's the Bronx River in New York City or the Irrawaddy River in Asia. The WCS works to protect all river ecosystems all around the world. We are entering a rocky terrain, and it is perfect for our next two animals. The best way to tell the difference is to look at their horns. As we come around, if you look straight into the center of the exhibit, you'll see an animal with corkscrew horns on the rocks. Those are the markhor. The markhor males will have long manes, which makes it look like they have beards. They can also jump 6 feet in the air, and that is without a running start. And if that was all that was needed to play in the NBA, the markhor would be game day ready. Now, if you see an animal that looks like the markhor, but instead of the corkscrew horns, their horns go straight back, you will have found one of our Himalayan tahr. We have an all-female group here at the Bronx Zoo. Go girl power. Now, Himalayan tahr and markhor are both species of wild goat. They have a special adaptation in their hooves. They have a special rubbery center that helps them to grip to rocks. It acts much like the soles of our boots do for us, so they can climb the rocks. Now, I will be slowing down the train for our next animal. I must remind everyone to please remain seated. I did mention that it is International Red Panda Day. So as we come around this big bee tree, look down at the smaller tree and look for something furry and red on a perch, and this is Linus. Linus is our 9-year-old male red panda. In Nepal, red pandas are called hunho, which means firefox. And it does refer to that red coat. And red pandas are actually not related to giant pandas at all. Even though both species of panda do like to eat a lot of bamboo, they are actually more closely related to skunks, to weasels, and to raccoons. Now you can go see more of Linus's red panda friends over at Himalayan Highlands. It is a very short walk away from the Wild Asian Monorail. And there you can also see one of Asia's great big cats, the snow leopard. I must remind everyone to please remain seated as you pass Linus. Thank you. As we come around this bend, our adventure is almost at an end. You have heard from our experts, and you have tried out your own scientific observation skills. I hope you've been inspired by what you've seen and heard on today's tour. Now, just as a reminder, the WCS manages 5 different parks here in New York City. They manage the Bronx Zoo, where you are at right now, the Central Park Zoo, the Queens Zoo, the Prospect Park Zoo, and the New York Aquarium. They also manage over 300 sites in 60 countries worldwide. Conflicts between humans and the wildlife are increasing, but the WCS is working very hard to protect the wildlife so it is around for years to come. And you can help us with that. Actually, just by being here today, you are helping us help protect the wildlife. If you'd like to be more involved, you can go online and see if you'd like to join an educational program. Plan your next visit, or you can become a WCS member. Now, I will be stopping the train just momentarily to reset my train's computer. Please remain seated. We will be moving again shortly. Please make sure you have all of your belongings, as well as any small children you may have come on with. Any small unattended children will become Monorail employees. We are approaching the platform, which means our adventure is coming to an end. Please remain seated until the train has come to a complete stop and the car doors have opened. Please watch your step as you are exiting the monorail car. There will be a small step up as you are exiting from the first car. There will be a small step down as you are exiting from the back row. If you're in the first 6 cars, your exit's going to be to the right. If you're in the last 2 cars, your exit is to the left. And if you're in lucky car B6, all you have to do is walk straight out the gate. On behalf of the Bronx Zoo, I'd like to thank you for coming aboard the Wild Asian Monorail. This afternoon, my name is Alexis and I have been your guide. Please remain seated. Have a great rest of your day here at the beautiful Bronx Zoo. Come back again and see us soon. Watch your step. Have a